Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Craft Tube. I'm Kayla, and I want to thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you're all having a great day. It's Friday, so it's finally Friday. So, I assume everyone's, like making plans for the weekend or figuring out what you're doing for the weekend or something. So, I hope to have a calm crafting weekend. I want to just sit and craft and not have anything else going on. But I do know that we need to go pick up some Walmart prescriptions and grab a few things that I left off of my Walmart order. So we'll probably do that Saturday morning-ish time. But I don't want to spend the whole day in town. I want to get back home and craft. But anyway, today I want to tell you guys about something. I've been wanting to do this video with Big Daddy, but our schedules have just been off. When I feel bad, he's like, do you want to make that video? And I'm like, I just feel too bad to do it right now. And then whenever I want to do it, then he don't feel like doing it. And so we have just been off schedule with each other, So, I'm going to make the video by myself because I can't stand keeping a secret from you all. You don't know how many times I've almost spilled the tea. And I just want to share this with you guys because I'm going to spill it and not have announced it. But anyway, we have a big secret. And it's killing me not to spill it because I'm not a good secret holder. If I know it, the world knows it, okay? So, here we go. Just one second. So, you may remember Elijah and Chastity came to visit us a couple weeks ago, and we, was thrilled they were coming and had a great visit and everything. Well, it was more than just a visit. It was an announcement, because let me just tell you. You ready? You ready? We are going to be grandparents, and we are so excited. You just don't know how excited Big Daddy and I are about this. We both cried like crazy over this. We're just so excited. We did not think this was ever going to be part of our life. It was a complete surprise. Let me just tell you. But yes, this does say, oh, you can't see it. Let me just try to zoom in. It does say pregnant, and we're just thrilled. And then here's a picture of Elijah and Chastity, and Elijah's holding the pregnancy test, and there's a whole story to this, and I don't know if the world is ready for it. Like I said, we had no clue. When Elijah came in and said, I need y'all to sit at the table, and Chastity did record all this, but she has that, not me. She recorded all that on her phone. But anyway, he said, I need y'all to sit at the table. So I told Jody, I said, come in here. Elijah wants us to come sit at the table. And he's like, for what? I was like, I don't know, just come. And then I saw Elijah had this, and my heart kind of sank because my first thought was they're going to move further away from us, like Alaska or somewhere, my first thought was, oh, I don't want them to move. Like, this never crossed my mind. Not at all. And when I opened it up, I was just totally shocked, okay? Totally shocked. Now, my son Dakota is about to die to spill this tea, because he's going to give all the details. And I said, I'm not going to tell all that because that's their personal business. And he's like, oh, I don't care. Elijah and Chastity don't care. They don't care what's told. They really don't. But I thought, well, that's a lot of information, and that's a lot of heavy information. And Dakota's like, oh, I tell everybody. But I just tell people, we're going to be grandparents. We've told everybody we're going to be grandparents. Big Daddy and I both just cried. We just cried in joy, in so much joy joyful, tearful tears. I don't know, but this was just the announcement of a lifetime for us. I told my doctor, when I went to the doctor after getting this, I told my doctor, look, you got to get me better. I got a lot to live for. I got a grandbaby coming. I'm going to be a grandma for the first time. So we are so, so thankful and just so happy about all this. And I'm just so happy that I can talk about it now. Instead of feeling like I'm keeping a secret. And I've almost said it a couple of times. we're so thankful and just looking forward to that. And there is a lot of details that I might spill out in videos in the next few days, but my son Dakota is about to die to make his video to spill the tea. So I will say that this has been in the planning since, I guess, way before Thanksgiving. And some things happened during the Thanksgiving week and that week that they came back after that. There was a lot going on there and some things that I was like, that's weird. And then Chastity explained some things. She's like, because that happened because we were already planning this. And so it's all these pieces have fit together now. Anyway, we're just thrilled and very, very excited. And I just can't wait to see Elijah and Chastity as parents. They are going to be awesome. And we're just so happy for them and for ourselves to be grandparents. And I was going to say something. Oh, yeah. So they are like, on Monday, she had a doctor's appointment and she was 7 weeks and 2 days. So now she's about, 7 weeks and 5 days or something like that. 4 or 5 days. I don't know. So, 2, 3, 4. 6 days maybe, I don't know. But anyway, when they told us they were just about they were saying, 4 weeks. And so, yeah, it's a lot. But we are thrilled. So I went out right away and bought the baby some books. Because I went to Ollie's and bought books for the baby because that's important to have books. And since we don't know what the baby's going to be at this moment, books are good. And I love books for kids. I think books are very important in a child's life. We read books to my kids from the time they were born, even before they were born. And we just always read to them until they didn't want us reading to them anymore. Even when Elijah was a teenager, I would still read chapter books with him at night. Or while we were laying in the bed and stuff. When I was really at a sick point in my life, he would just come and lay in the bed with me and I'd read him a chapter, or he would read a chapter of the book we were reading and such. Books are important to me in a child's life. Okay, I finished my little project that I was doing. I had the stamp. I just wanted to give an update on this. And so this is what the stamp says. It's okay not to be okay. So I stamped this out a bunch of times and colored in the shirts. I decided not to color in the faces. I just need to keep it simple. I did a few of them and I just didn't like the way it was looking. So, and as I was cutting these out, then I realized, I could have stamped these so that I could just cut out with my slicer cutter arm thing. I could have just cut these out in squares and not had to cut them all out like this. But they're cuter like this. But, it would have been easier to just cut them out, Anyway, so my plans with these is I have a doctor's appointment Monday and Tuesday. So my plan is to just leave these around in the waiting rooms of the hospital. Just leave these around in the waiting rooms for people to find and such. It's okay not to be okay. And I've got to remember that for myself, and I want other people to realize it's okay not to be okay. So that's my plan, is to leave these around at the hospital on Monday and Tuesday. I got a good little stack here, but if I run out on Monday and I want to take some more on Tuesday, I'm going to stamp them out and color the shirts in, and then I'm gonna stamp them in a way that's wastes more paper, but I can just use that chopper and cut them out in a square instead of all that. Okay. Anyway, see anybody else? Does that make sense for anybody else? So what else am I doing today? Well, I got my house pretty tidy. Paige just left, my sitter that comes and does my meds and formula and a few things like that. So I got her to help me kind of just tidy up the house. You know, I had some things I had done and had a few things I needed her to do. And so, got that done, and I'm starting my crafting weekend. So this is what I plan to do all weekend. So I have doodled some little doodles, and I'm going to cut those out, and then I'm going to doodle some more. So that's what we're fixing to do. So I'm going to show you how I cut these out. I'm not going to cut them all out right now, but I'm just going to give you a little idea of how I just fussy cut around these. And I'm going to lay them to the side, and I'm just going to draw some doodles out. That's what I'm going to do, while we just chit-chat and talk about different things. Well, so do you have plans for the weekend? What have you got going on? Are you having a relaxing weekend? Are you going out and doing something exciting or fun? Like I said, we don't have official plans, but I do know that we need to pick up a few things from Dollar Tree, and also like some napkins, and I don't know, Paige told me some things earlier that I put on, parchment paper and napkins. I get all that kind of stuff at Dollar Tree, and some plastic spoons. So this is the way I just kind of fussy cut around this. And then whenever I'm doing a journal page, this is just something I can grab to add on a page if it needs something a little extra. And I'll just put it on like that. Sometimes I might kind of come in a little bit closer, but I never try to cut on the lines or anything. So I'm going to, like, draw some of those out in just a minute. I just thought I'd show you how I cut around them. Kind of, you know, not too close in, but just kind of fussy cut. That's what it's called when you don't cut all the way to the lines on something and you leave white around it. That is called fussy cut. And I can't think of what the other one's called. Kissy cut, maybe? Something like that. I'm still having issues with this thumb. This whole end of this thumb is like a hard plastic. I mean, it's just hard plastic. Hurts. Thankfully, I have, you know, some good pain medicine to take for it. Between that and my feet and toes hurting, I don't know what I'd do without the pain medicine. Really and truly. My thumb will be okay. A lot of times, like right now, it's not hurting me so bad right now. But if I was to bump it, it starts hurting like crazy. And a lot of people are going to say to rest it, but no. If I rest it, the whole thumb will get stiff and hard. I got to keep that blood flowing as much as possible. So I got to work this thumb, do whatever I can do. A lot of times it does wake me up in the middle of the night, throbbing, and to the point where I'm just in tears. But thankfully, I'll have a syringe of my morphine right next to me. So in the middle of the night, it's just easy for me to grab that syringe and take the morphine. It goes in my mouth. It's just a little bit in a syringe, and I can just do that real quick and lay there and wait on some relief. And basically, it just kind of knocks me out, and I'm able to sleep. But anyway, so I'm only taking that when the pain is so bad that I cannot stand it, and I just need, relief because I can't sleep because it's throbbing so bad. I wasn't going to cut all these out. That wasn't my plan. So I'm going to throw this trash over here in my trash can. And I have a few more that are just, just doodles. And they're easy to cut around, fussy cut around. So I have already got out some paper. Now, I did those with these two markers here that I purchased at Walmart 2 weeks ago when I was picking up some prescriptions. I grabbed these, and they're barely writing. I don't know. I feel like 2 weeks is really fast for them to run out of ink. I don't know if there's something I can do to get the ink going back in them. If you have a suggestion before I throw these away, let me know. But a lot of times I'm like going over stuff like a bunch of times trying to get that to work. But I grabbed just some white copy paper, like printer paper. And I have that right here beside me. So I'm going to get a sheet of that. And I'm going to do something a little different. I've been doing those just in black and white. Doing these little doodles. But I'm going to move this sheet up under here, my under paper, because I can't see where this paper ends and this paper starts. And that messes me up. That messes me up. But anyway, I got out just my Crayola markers. Tammy had gave me these boxes. And they are very nice. A good plastic. The handles lock the lids on. And that's important for me because I drop everything, and just having a lid on those is very helpful. So I have those, and I have, those are Crayola, the fat markers like you get at Walmart for, just a couple of dollars for a package. And then these are the Crayola Super Tips, which are a few dollars for the package. And in here, I think I have pastels and regulars. So I'm just going to put my markers here, and I'm just going to grab a few colors. I'm going to try some greens here. And I could pull some greens out from over here. I'm just going to do a page of some little green motifs, is what I call those. And I don't know, I'm probably pulling out a lot. I think there's a package of pastels in here, a package of regulars, so I don't know. So I'm just going to doodle And ever how it turns out is how it turns out. It's no big deal. It's not meant to be perfect or anything like that. By no means. So, like I said, it just doodles. Alright, and then I'll just come back and I just do just some leaves, and sometimes the leaves kind of look like hearts. So you can just see different ways that I might do it. It's never the same. There's not a right way to do it or a wrong way. It kind of looks like an S. And then I'm just adding leaves to it, and it'll just be a cute little doodle to add to a page. No big deal. Right? And I'll show you just a little bit better of a look in a second. I just try to make it look kind of like a vine. I'm not sure if this color is even showing up on the camera for you, but we'll play with some other colors too. And then I can come back and just add some doodles, and I could change the colors if I wanted to. I usually put like about 3 little doodles together. And like I said, I could change colors. So there we go. Just some doodles. I'm going to change colors. Try this more limey looking color. Okay. I know black would probably show up better for you, but let me see what can I do up here. Let's do something like that right there. Let's see. I did kind of a heart shape. And then I could do like this bulb looking, like a circle-ish. And then something like this. And just draw some lines down. And then in here, like, just connect all that together. Okay. Let's try a darker color for one. And I might could even do, let's see. So what do y'all think about that? And then I'm going to come back in and add, well, I'll just do this. I was going to do a different color, but you can just add in some doodles. Anyway, so I want to tell y'all something about the baby. Oh, I tell you, we just never thought this would happen for us and all. And so, I'll tell you something that Chastity told me after they told us about, the baby, and we were just so excited for him, and, for us. I mean, we really were just so excited. And then Chastity told me that she wanted us to be her baby's grandparents. Like, she chose us for grandparents for her baby. And, I mean, that is just so, like, I don't think I could have got a better compliment in this world for somebody to tell me that they chose us to be her baby's grandparents. Can you think of a better compliment in this world? I just can't. I can't. That was just the best compliment I've ever received in my life. And I'm just so thrilled. So if you want to know the details of that, you can check. I'm going to give Dakota a chance to share that. And I don't know. I wasn't planning on sharing that. But if you don't get the details from him, I guess I could share, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Kids do things way different nowadays than we did back in our day. So it's just a little doodle there, and I'm actually going to pick this color here. And see if I can come back in and do some doodles, some little dots, and I'm trying to do little circles, but I don't think I'm really doing circles. Just some squiggles or something. So we're just dying to find out what the baby is. Yeah, we are so excited. So I'll be 55, and Big Daddy will be, I don't know, because he has a birthday in September. The baby should be due date around possibly early October-ish is what we're all thinking. What the doctor said for now, early October, and they'll narrow that down as, she gets ultrasounds and the baby grows and stuff. So, and then I'm just going to cut these out like I did just that over there, and I'll have these little motifs. But right now, I'm going to just doodle some more. I just want to do a pages of different colors of these, and so I think I like drawing them out better with the big fat markers. So I'm going to do some blues. There. I don't know. I like doing these doodles. My friend Kim calls this busy idiot work. Idiot busy work, or busy idiot work. Something like that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing some busy idiot work. Just something to keep me busy. Right? It gives me something to do. Kind of, I don't know, keeps me busy. So I just kind of draw a little circle, and kind of like an upside down triangle with a circle in there to kind of join all that together. And then just a bulb or circle. And there we go. And then I can come back and anyway, that just gives a little something, something. I think I need to draw just some more of the blue leafy things. So let me do that. And sometimes I just put little circles on where the leaves meet. And sometimes I don't. It just depends. I could do some reds. And remember, this doesn't have to be anything perfect whatsoever. It's basically just some doodles. Like, there's no way to mess this up, okay? Honestly, there's no way to even mess this up. Like, this isn't even something that can be messed up. I was kind of planning on doing like a page of red, a page of pink, page of blue, you know, but I just wanted to show you guys some different colors here. And it might be something I do this weekend, is just do some pages of these different colors here. And I'm going to do another one like this. So y'all see how simple that is? There we go. Just some little doodle decorations. And like I said, whenever I start gluing stuff in art journals, I'll be grabbing these and just adding them to a page that needs a little something something, but not a whole lot of something something. Alright, here's a dark blue. I don't think I used dark blue yet. And I love leaves in all colors. So, these little, and, you know, if you look at a plant, it does not grow perfect. There's always going to be some weird leaves on there. Basically, if you can't do anything else, you can just do hearts. See how that does? And then, like I said, sometimes I go back and just do a circle in there to connect all that, and sometimes no. It's a heart. And another little layer on each side. And then I want to connect all that. And I just do like a little collar on it. And then just come back and do some lines that does not have to be perfect. Sometimes I do little dots up here, and sometimes I do little stems like that's growing out of the flower. And sometimes I don't. And you could do these to go with whatever theme. Like if you're doing St. Patrick's Day, you could do green ones. You're doing Valentine's, you could do red ones. Like I'm fixing to do some red ones here. I kind of did this close to that, so I'm not going to be able to do dots above this, but that's okay. So, does anybody else like to doodle? And then what do you do with your doodles? That's the question of the day. What do you do with your doodles? Mine will be going in like art journals and such. Okay, let me see. I'm going to do... just doing some leaves. And you can turn your paper turn it around as you're doodling to make it more comfortable for you, but I'm okay with just doing this. And then you can just do dots or whatever it is you want to do to just kind of decorate. Just something. We're not trying to do masterpieces or anything, real important. We're just doodling, playing, right? And then also something else that I'll sometimes do. I just did a bunch of these in black and white. I have a whole bag of black and whites over here, and that's why I decided I just want to make a little bag of different colors. I'm not going to do like a bag of each color. I'm just gonna do different colors in a bag. But I just do circles sometimes and just all kinds of wonky stuff. Really and truly. These circles like this, we'll do a few of those. Okay, let me grab my circle stencil that's trying to act like it's stuck. I don't know why you're playing hard to get. Okay. I'm just going to do some, I don't know if yellow will show up for you. Let me do orange. I was going to do some oranges and yellows too. And sometimes it might just end up being a sun in the sky or something. Some kind of, big focal point that might represent the sun. This stencil I got years ago, many years ago. I'm thinking at like Michael's. I also picked up a bunch of these at a rummage sale one time because I did use them a lot for art kids and co-op classes and such. And I've just used these over the years. My kids have used them a lot in homeschooling and such. So I'm glad I held on to these all these years because I'm enjoying playing with them now. And, I'm not getting this perfect. Some of them's off center. And that's okay because I like the quirkiness of it. So, and then I'm just coming around, and I always do this in like threes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And they're not all the same. They're, it's going to look wonky and not be perfect by any means. So sometimes you might doodle this straight onto an art page, and then sometimes you might just want your little focal bits to add on. I like to just have stuff to glue on. I usually do these in sets of threes because if I do any more of that at a time, I don't know, it kind of gets way off for me. Alright, and then I'll come back and I'll just make some of them stripes, like going this way, some of them stripes going that way. Some of them I just put a dot in it. Some of them I might put 3 dots. Some of them I might hit 2. I might draw a heart. Some of them I might not do anything. Some of them I might put another little hump in there so it kind of looks like a rainbow, or, you know, you could put 2 or 3 little humpies in there. I don't know what you call it. And you don't have to put something in all of them, just the ones that look like they need something. And I could have used like this skinny markers to do this stuff in, but it's not that important, really and truly. It's not that big a deal to try to make something perfect. And I might just go back and add 1 dot in some of them around. And see, like I have 2 empty ones over here, and there's 2 empty ones there, a bunch, and then 1 empty one. So, I mean, it's not a right way or a wrong way to do this. There's 3 empty ones together. Here, I'm going to put 2 dots in that. And that's good. That's good. Okay, since I'm doing an orange, I'm going to go ahead and just do... come back and just do some little berries or whatever you want to call them right here. Okay. Okay, let me do one of those orange bulby looking flowers. So let's see what I need. Let me do one this way. Give myself some room to do the little dots on the top. Do a heart. Put a little side heart on it. Okay, I connected all that together. And then I'm going to do a circle for like a bulb type thing. And then I just call this putting a collar on it. You can tell I'm real technical. And I'm going to put some dots around up here and just draw some lines down. Like it's got some little things sticking up out of the flower. I like this one because it just looks like you did a little extra something and you really didn't. I used to draw this all the time. And then I still have some room, so I'm just gonna and sometimes when I use this in a book on a journal page, it may not be that you see the whole thing. You might just see part of that behind something else, layering things up, you know. I need to look in that bag for some ideas. And then sometimes you might just need some little ones that are not huge. Just might need a little something to go at the edge of something. So there we go. And then for me, whenever I'm cutting these out, just kind of get it cut off the paper. I try to leave a little room in between all these because well, I try to leave a little room in there because, you know, I'm going to fussy cut around this. Oh, there. I've been doing them on cardstock or mixed media paper, and this is the first that I've done any on just copy paper, because I got to thinking, I'm using up all my mixed media paper and cardstock on this, and I just bought this copy paper at Ollie's. And so I was like, I got plenty of copy paper. Let me use that instead of using my mixed media paper up. So there we go. I hope this gives somebody some ideas for something. Who knows? One day you might can share it with somebody else. And that's what I like to do. And I think that's what I'm going to do today. At least for today. And then this weekend I'll work on something else. I have a whole stack of papers where I have traced out different little motifs, or stamped or something, different little motifs and all that I need to cut out. So I have a lot of cutting I need to do. I need to have a cutting party. Anybody want to grab your scissors and come on over for a cutting party? We can just chat and have snacks and watch something if we wanted to or whatever, and hang out and cut all my little stuff out. Alright. And like I said, I'm not going to do these in bags of orange or bag of blue or bag of green. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to get all these into a bag. And I could go back and doodle inside the circles. I just didn't yet, but whenever I go to put it down on something, if I see something I want to just add into that, I could. Let's see. Do I have an orange handy right here? Yeah, I do. It may not be the same shade of orange, but something I could do. And this is in honor of Megan Quillen. Oh, I can't get my lid off. Yeah, I got it. This is a little doodle that she does. It's just like a little rainbow type thing. I don't know how well you can see that, but I could go back and just do things like that in there, and I don't have to do it all. Like, that's good. And if I wanted to add some more on the other side, I could, or on the inner circle. But anyway, guys, I've kept you long enough, but I wanted to share our big secret and exciting news with everyone. Like I said, I wish me and Big Daddy had been able to get our life together to make this announcement together, but just things going on. My sickness, his not feeling well, his work, just things like that have just prevented us from being on the same page and both feeling like doing a video at the same time. So I thought, I'm supposed to spill the tea and say something about the baby, because I almost have at lots of videos. I almost say something about the baby. Oh, we'll tell you this, that of course right now they don't know what they're going to have, but they're going to find out, because none of us can wait, obviously. We're very impatient people. And, but they do have a boy name picked out. If it was to be a boy, Oliver Wyatt, and Elijah's middle name is Wyatt. So I like that. But, you know, they don't have a girl name. They hadn't settled on a girl name yet to throw out there, but, I'll love whatever they pick out. And they were asking me, like, what do you want your grandma name to be? And I'm like, well, I have never even thought about it. So I don't know. So I do not have a grandma name. But then I decided that, you know, sometimes you pick out a name and then the baby, when they start talking, they, you know, might call you something totally different. And that'd be fine with me too. But I think I'm going to tell Elijah, like, anything the baby says, crying, whatever. That's my grandma name. That baby can call me anything. I know there's some, I did look up something when I was sitting there just with my phone, didn't have anything to do for a moment. I looked up and then it asked me something about my name, and I put my name in as Kayla, and it said KK and maybe some other things. I don't know what all it came up with, but I really just be happy with anything. Now, a while back, when my kids were growing up and we were with the homeschool group a lot, and I had all these different age kids, and I taught in co-op and such, a lot of little kids in my life called me Sugar Mama. That was just the name that a lot of kids called me. Little kids in my life. And even some of the teenagers would, just to be funny. But, so Sugar Mama has been a name that I was called. You know, and Big Daddy was Big Daddy. And I was Sugar Mama. And I don't know why we didn't go with that for my YouTube channel. But at the time, Elijah picked my YouTube name, and we were trying to think of something, and he said Llama Mama. And I was like, okay, that sounds good, because we'd been working on that for a while, and I was just ready to get a name. But I don't know why we didn't go with just Llama Mama. I mean, with just Sugar Mama, because that would have been totally normal, since that's what a lot of people called me already. You know, it was so sweet to hear a little one, a 2 or 3 year old, you know, playing with me and calling me Sugar Mama. So, I don't know, but I'm open for grandma name suggestions. Totally. Big Daddy said just Grandpa. I think Chastity's mama is already a Mamaw. And I think her daddy's already a Papaw. But I think Big Daddy might have said either Papa or Grandpa, Pawpaw. I don't know. He don't really care either. Like, anything a baby calls us will be just fine with us. I think something did suggest for me like KK or Lala or something. I don't know. But, nowadays, children, they have the grandparents and sometimes, great-grandparents, which this baby will have. Chastity's mom and dad live here. And so, I don't know what they go by. I don't know what Chastity calls them. But then, her mom and dad have their grandparents' names are already because they have grandkids. And they came over and visited with us a couple of Sundays ago. And, we talked all about the baby and just plans. And we're just so excited. We are thrilled. They're just as thrilled as we are. Which this will be their third grandbaby, I believe. I don't think they have any more hidden. I think it'll just be their third. I'm going to do some pink flowers and stuff. Because I just feel like I might need pink. But yeah, I'm looking for grandparent name suggestions. If you got anything to throw out there at me. We are so excited. Big Daddy, that Monday after we found out, Big Daddy went to work. He said, I told everybody, I'm going to be a grandpa. Oh, we are. Like, that's just not what we were expecting by any means. That'd been the last thing I would have thought of. I didn't even think of it. Like, that was so far from my mind. We're going to make these little bulbs up there a little bit bigger. Doodles. So there we go. And then sometimes I just put like a big dot in there to connect them. And then I'll just come back with some smaller doodles. And sometimes you can do something like this also. Make a bigger leaf. Okay, and then make this leaf striped that way. That leaf kind of striped this way. This leaf some dots. And then some normal. And just, just doodle. Let me just hold that up so you can just kind of get a better idea of what I did. And just doodle. It can be patterned or just whatever. And I do need to do just some little pieces. Color that one in a bit. And this one I can just do stripe that way, this way, some dots, and anyway, you get the idea. There's no right way or wrong way. Just whatever comes off your pencil or marker or whatever is right. Just doing an S. And doing leaves around it, basically. So, alright, there we go. Just some doodles. And also, like, just a spiral. And do some leaves. There we go. Alright guys, I'm going to let you all get going. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Check back with me. I'm going to have videos Saturday and Sunday. Lord willing, unless I get really, really sick, I should have videos out. So check back with me over the weekend and see what I get up to with my crafting weekend. Have just lots of things I need to cut out and create and do, and you never know what I might do, but I look forward to just having a relaxing, fun, crafty weekend. Alright guys, I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye friends.